for somebody in Stockholm syndrome to see other people's normal, it's like, what's wrong with them? No. And so people have to see that, have that light bulb moment on their own. I can't come to you and say, okay, Karen, it's enough. You need to stop taking it. You have to see it. Anything physical in the body is usually related to trauma. And the trauma release that I do is the most amazing protocol. It's so simple, but it activates the vagus nerve because this is all stored in your body and we've got to get it out. Pause if you can, 5 minutes, a cup of tea, go hide in your car if you have to. Give yourself a pause, 5 minutes. That's it. And then that actually is the first step. People pleasing is a big one, especially with the toxic relationships. Mine started with a narcissist mother, and then it continued into marrying the narcissist husband. And a lot of times when we're leaving a toxic marriage, the mindset is, what's wrong with me? And you second guess, and we have to heal in so many respects. And I always put it's like a dimmer switch. You didn't flip your switch down and, okay, I'm leaving the marriage, it's done. It was a slow degradation of your system.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Just Separated podcast. I'm Karen Oman, a thanatologist, grief counselor, divorce strategist, and co-author of the Just Separated workbook. I help people navigate the emotional, legal, and practical challenges of divorce, including high conflict and narcissist relationships. Each week, I am joined by expert guests who share guidance, tools, and strategies so you can move forward with clarity, confidence, and resilience. Follow Just Separated and join us as we explore the many layers of divorce. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Hi, welcome to the Just Separated podcast. I'm your host, Karen Oman, co-founder of Divorce Workshop. Today we're going to talk about, is this trauma? Healing from a marriage that took too much. And our expert guest today is Kim Murphy. Kim is an empowerment coach, a gentle trauma release practitioner who helps women over 50 reclaim their self-worth and create vibrant, fulfilling lives. After years of putting everyone else first, Kim found her way back to herself through the power of self-love, mindset shifts, and deep emotional healing. Today, she guides women to feel great again, one small transformative step at a time. Welcome, Kim, to the Just Separated podcast.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so excited to be here. It's a pleasure.
So, Kim, let's just dig right in. So, why do you find that many women you work with don't even realize they've been carrying trauma from their marriage?
That is such a great question, because with women who carry trauma in general, but especially from the emotional damage of a relationship, we're just busy trying to get through the day. We're not even aware of what we're doing. The fawning, if I do all the things, he will love me. He will take care of me how I want to. I mentioned to you before that my lovely ex-husband, it's his dance and my dance. They were completely different. And once the kids came, it really separated who we were. But there was always the passive aggressive things that stuck with me. It wasn't words. It wasn't beatings or anything that would physically heal. It was the looks, the sideways glances. And occasionally there was quite the harsh statement about, what's wrong with you? Only you could do that. Well, no, other people have broken their arm too. It does happen to other people as well. And we as women internalize all this. So we do things to get these lovely men to love us and pay attention to us. And it's tough. It sticks with us. Doing all the things, making dinner, taking care of the kids, running around, burning yourself out. And he's off having a beer with his buddies, doing what he wants to do. And you're running around. That's the first sign that, oh, wait, there's not an equal balance in the relationship. The words, how do the words make you feel? Are his words kind and nurturing, or are they, oh my gosh, if you're on edge, that is a big sign you've been through trauma. And I mean, I'll give a couple examples, but the examples go on and on of how we get damaged, traumatized through these relationships without even being aware of it. And we just keep going, push through, and that's the worst thing we can do. If we stopped and thought about it, paid attention to how we feel, or even the superpower, talk about it, it would make a big difference in our lives. Talk to them. It's scary to talk to those people who are dominant, controlling, running our lives, but that does make a big difference. It does start to change things.
So we talked about before you came on about how that age kind of, and I remember for me, it hit in my young 40s where I started going, I don't know if this is right. my kids were getting a little bit more independent, and I was able to kind of focus more on what was actually going on. And I started waking up a little bit that something's not really going well here in this marriage or something. And I wasn't always feeling good. So I want to ask you, is that what you find as well when you're working with women? It's like this 40 to 50-year-old type of transition?
Oh, absolutely. All women about 40 start going, especially when we've been giving and oversharing and overdoing. And by 50, it's like, I can't do this anymore. And I first discovered this on vacation in Dominican Republic in a pool, talking to a 50-year-old woman. And there was like her husband was driving her crazy, the kids were, life was good. And she didn't know what that itch was. And she hadn't been taking care of herself. And it just kind of clicked for me. And then I got talking to her and realizing that it is 40, it started, it gets more prevalent. You become more aware of it as we age. And by 50, it's okay. It's time for me. What about me? Who's taking care of me? Who's doing things for me? And you start to change, and then your relationships start to change accordingly.
So, can we talk a little bit about, when people think of trauma, because you're a trauma specialist, we think of those big events, right? We think of a car accident, fire, assault, which are huge. And I'm not discounting that.
Absolutely.
But can we talk about that, what trauma can feel like for women in these type of marriages and when they're coming out?
Yes, absolutely, and you're absolutely right. There is trauma, the catastrophic event, but what I like to work with, I've called it small t trauma. These are little events that stick with us, stick in our body, and we hold on to them until we release them, and that's what I help women do, is release them. So, for instance, if in a relationship, the anger, your voice is silenced and you can't get your anger out, you're dismissed, you're put down, that's one of the worst ones. And I never quote clients because the work I do is very confidential and very private, but I will quote family members and whatnot. But the anger is oh, I never thought about this. For my father had so much anger and he just couldn't get it out. He had been silenced in his life by dominant parents, and the same in the relationship. So when he came into a relationship with my mom, he was the dominant one. He took what he knew and passed that on, and it just didn't work. Then it turned around that she became the dominant one, and he didn't know what to do. So it sticks in your body from both sides. I mean, men and women is the point here, that you bring things to a relationship that's your norm. And then that's how you do your relationship dance, and the things you've got from your past. Your parents' relationship is with you. Your grandparents' relationship is with you, because we see all that and we hold on to that. And that's the example that we have. And it needs to be healed and fixed. And I've gone way off topic here and I can't remember even what the question was. My apologies.
No, we were just talking about what are some of the symptoms that they
The symptoms. Yeah.
right? But so I understand what you're saying, that we bring our own traumas into the relationship, and because we don't work on that, right? Like trauma is, we know it's becoming more mainstream and stuff, and people
Yes.
are talking about more. But when you and I got married, there wasn't really talk about that, right?
Not at all.
So what are some of the symptoms that we see? Like I was thinking, for me, like I was really, really exhausted when I left the marriage. Like
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
hyper vigilant. I was on edge. But even people can have brain fog or digestive issues, or so that's what I was saying. What are some of the symptoms that people feel when they may not be aware of, but that, oh, okay, this could actually be something that I should actually talk to you about or get some help
Right.
with?
You're actually bang on. You've mentioned symptoms, all the symptoms. Right? Control is a big one as well. If I can control the environment, everything will be okay. And there is no such thing. Hypervigilance is a big one, because if you keep going, keep active, it's oh my God, there's so many symptoms. Anything physical in the body is usually related to trauma. Believe it or not, if you have headaches, chronic pain, it's all related to repressed feelings from trauma. And it's amazing how quickly that can be healed. But we have to be aware of this. I mean, it's any physical aches, pains, the control, hypervigilance, and oh my God, the exhaustion. Holy Hannah. It's an exhaustion not from sleep. It's from doing and being and having no support and being silenced. The exhaustion is a big one, and we don't even know where it comes from. And we look for magic pills or potions to fix it. And this is all internal. This is it. We can heal that exhaustion once we heal the trauma.
I think what's interesting too is when you leave a toxic marriage or a difficult marriage, right? You automatically think once you've left that marriage that it's a huge step, and I'm not, you and I've done it. It's a huge step, but you don't just recover really fast, right? Like it because there's been for me it was 19 years, so there's a lot of pathways were done, a lot of things around my nervous system. So
Oh
recovery,
yeah.
or feeling more like yourself again or grounded takes time. So I don't know if you have any comments about that.
Oh, and that's such a great point too, because our exiting any relationship, whether it's a toxic marriage or just it's we're not compatible, leaves a scar. And a lot of times when we're leaving a toxic marriage, the mindset is, what's wrong with me? And you second guess, well, if I and we have to heal in so many respects. And I always put it's like a dimmer switch. You didn't flip your switch down and, okay, I'm leaving the marriage, it's done. It was a slow degradation of your system, your nervous system, your health, your physical, every aspect of your life has been slowly degraded through that toxic relationship. And we have to slowly start healing. And the big thing I say for women is just pause, because we don't allow ourselves to pause. We have to keep going, get it done. Pause, take a breath. There's so much power in that pause, and our nervous system has to be regulated again. Oh my God, the RAS system is just on edge, and we have to do so many things to heal us over the years. Writing, journaling, meditation, all these frou-frou things. People haven't seen them as very tangible over the years. Even psychologists, you need to take care of yourself, because it's going to be a long time. It could take 19 years to heal, because the the damage is intrinsic in our bodies, and we've got to get it out.
So is that kind of the work that you do? Like if
Mhm.
you see they come to you and they just say can you give example? Like I feel off. Like I feel like what do they say to you?
There's something it's like an itch they can't scratch. There's something wrong, but they don't know what it is. And I can tell by the way people talk that they've been through trauma. They don't have to tell me. I'm surprised by some of the trauma people have been through, and I'm shocked by the abuse women have been through. It just is amazing. But it goes from anger to frustration to how they speak is very indicative of their life. And one is the anger, because there is so much anger and frustration. How come this didn't work out? I came in for the fairy tale, and what the heck happened to this fairy tale? And that anger is repressed, can turn to depression, can turn to many different things if we don't get it out.
Is that also where the people pleasing comes from?
Absolutely, because that's when you have a dominant and controlling partner, narcissist partner. You're doing anything to make them happy, and the people pleasing is the number one sign of trauma. You'll fall all over, do everything for everybody. My example is at work. So we need a cake for the boss. Rather than saying, "I'll go to the bakery and get it," "Oh, I'll bake it. I'll stay up till 3 in the morning." I was working full time. My husband, I was married at the time, was working. And, what are you doing? What are you doing that for? And I got home, kids to bed, dinner made, and I baked a cake till 3 in the morning. That was absolutely unnecessary. But this is what women do when they're trying to. I want everybody to love me, not just my husband. I want everybody to see me around me, because I was so damaged. I didn't love myself. And that's what the true healing is, to love yourself, because we've been taught to ignore ourselves and push through it all.
It also it also makes me realize that um, for myself, I was an easy target, right? When you people please so much, no wonder why some like they can get it, like your friends, like
Yeah.
girlfriends,
Yeah.
as well as ex
Yeah.
partners or partners or husbands, can really take advantage of you. I did it before when we divorced. Okay, I kept people pleasing extraordinaire.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because that's the pattern, That's and you don't just do the people pleasing with your soon to be ex-husband. You do the people pleasing with the environment around you. And the people who need you to do the people pleasing, who need to be take advantage of you, target you. They know full well you're not going to say no. They know full well you're the person who will not stand their ground and will do whatever their bidding is. I could give you personal examples of people that have taken care of taken advantage of me. And then once I finally got a boundary and said no, they're gone.
So the
And
so,
go
sorry to
ahead.
interrupt, but so the people pleasing, if you are a people pleaser, chances are there's traumas in there that
Oh,
have not been. I just want to make that
100%.
clear to everybody that's listening.
100%. Yeah. People pleasing, control. People pleasing is a big one, especially with the toxic relationships. And it's mine started with a narcissist mother, and then it continued into marrying the narcissist husband. And it's just we find things that are familiar to us. Our energy system attracts what we believe in ourselves. I didn't believe I was anything other than, what's wrong with you? Only you can do that. So that's what I attracted. Even with some of the friends around me, I would attract people that would take advantage of me because they knew full well I had no self worth.
And that comes from years of abuse, as well
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
your. But it really, with trauma, we're talking about your nervous system, right? It's
Yep.
not. It's not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I also want to mention that, like, knowing that everyone, I know, like, no one, anyone's listening knows I'm a grief counselor, and you can talk, and it's important to talk. But with trauma, right, Kim, you can't really talk a lot about trauma. You have to do more movement in your bodies and stuff like that. Is that correct?
And that's exactly it. This is when people aren't ready to come for the trauma release. I just do something, do a walk, do journal, it's a very physical activity. And the trauma release that I do is the most amazing protocol. It's so simple, but it activates the vagus nerve because this is all stored in your body. And we've got to get it out. And people have immediate results once it's released. We can talk and talk and talk and talk, but it has to be released from your body in order for you to feel the difference and start making change. And it's shocking how quickly this very simple protocol changes you. And again, it's not, oh, light switch. It is, oh, you see things differently, you hear things differently, and you then have to match your mindset to act differently to match up to that trauma release, because your mindset is also in the place of I'm not worthy of anything good. So we have to release the trauma and then work on your mindset to understand you're amazing, you are worthy of good things.
So basically, what you're saying is, then release the trauma first, and then work on your mindset.
And I do, that's how I would like to do it, but do whatever works. Just start something. Do one thing, do mindset, do emotional freedom technique, journaling. If you can't get into trauma release or you can't find a coach who'll do that, do something, do anything. And it's all the big picture. One, there's not, oh, you have to do it this way. Every little bit helps. And there's a pool of trauma, a pool of injuries that are just getting released with every single thing you do.
Do you have any stories? I know you can't say names or anything of how, or does it give you? Do you find when you work with clients and you see them just get so much better as they go along, and that must be a really proud moment for you. Like,
I absolutely love what I do because it's just shocking how quickly people work. Okay, I'll give you an example because this is a client I'll never work with again. I did training with him when I was first doing my certification, and it's a man. He had abuse from his childhood, and his story at 65 was had such anxiety that if he went and he was afraid of people, afraid of everything, he'd go to a mall, he'd park 50 yards from the closest car because people weren't safe. He was always, and that's another sign of trauma is I'm not safe. Okay, it's very hard on your nervous system. So he with my trauma release, I find a specific memory. When he was 9 years old, he was being sent off to boarding school. He remembers hiding behind a tree, so he didn't have to go. Off went the taxi. His dad drove him there nonetheless, so he had to go to this traumatic school. And I released that memory from him. And he says, oh my gosh, I could get in the cab now. And he could park close to people. And it was just 3 sessions with him. He said he's my favorite testimonial, was like better than 20 years of therapy because he'd released this, and it's kind of like it was festering and growing over the years, and it got worse and worse because all he kept thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. And once it was released, it was like the bubble burst, and it's like, oh my gosh. And that is so rewarding that I parked my car beside somebody else. Such a little thing, but such a powerful thing. And this is the same in marriages. You don't know how you've adapted your life to not get into trouble, to not have the narcissist shun you or berate you. And I will dig in with you and find that specific memory and release it. And I was talking to you about mine. It was 10 years after I was married. I'd scrimped and saved and did whatever he wanted to do. So we had our 10-year anniversary to Dominican Republic. I'm not going away with you. That was my light bulb moment that, and things slowly started to change, because I was still young then, but it was just, wait, what about me? So I came back in my own time, how many ever years later, 20, 30 years, and released that memory and went to Dominican Republic on my own. So.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to tell you a little bit about my own. Is mine, I was at the mall. I met a friend that I had, and I said to her what my ex said to me the day before. Something like, you look like you're 65. And I think I was 42 years old. So I was quite young and very mean about it. And then he laughed. And I went to the mall and I said, do you find this funny? And I told her, and she's like, my goodness, that's really mean, Karen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I went, it is? Like, that's how blind
conditioned you were
conditioned
to
yeah. So that's kind of, and when you told me your moment, that was one of the many moments, but that one sticks with me a lot because it kind of started changing the way I viewed it, right?
Yeah.
And I went, sorry.
Yeah, and that's just it. And it's those moments that, wait a second, and we are so conditioned to this abuse, this toxicity, and it's our normal. It's what's that? I can't even think of the syndrome. Patty Hearst, when she identified with her.
Stockholm syndrome?
Yes, thank you. And you take it on, and this isn't normal. And for somebody in Stockholm syndrome to see other people's normal, it's like, what's wrong with them? No. People have to see that, have that light bulb moment on their own. I can't come to you and say, okay, Karen, it's enough. You need to stop taking it. You have to see it on your own in order to start making the changes.
And once you see it, I just want to tell our listeners, once you see this, and I'm sure Kim's going to agree, you'll never unsee it.
Everything changes. Everything, from the way you interact, the way you behave, the way you're still in the fawning, the control, and the people pleasing, but things are starting to change. And I changed so much at some point that after 2.5 years after that incident, my ex-husband didn't know how to talk to me anymore, because I'm not taking that. And I mean, he wanted to stay in the marriage. He thought it was perfect. What? For you, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's just talk quickly about, because I know you want to bring boundaries up, because I'm thinking boundaries have such a, like, what boundaries, Kim? I mean, if you're a people pleaser, and a lot of women are, what boundaries? I mean, for me to have boundaries back then, even now I'm getting better, but it's tough. Boundaries are tough.
For us who've been through this, boundaries are still tough for me. Even though I have it all in my head, I have all the logic in my head, it's very hard, because when your go-to is, yes, oh yeah, I'll do it. It's really hard. You jump in and, so this is why I teach people, when you are being pushed or taken advantage of, the answer isn't immediate yes, because again, these women are becoming aware of it. The answer is, can I get back to you? Because it's not a yes, it's not a no. It's, I need to honor myself and take care of me. Boundaries are not easy, though. We talked before. I have a friend who doesn't talk to me anymore because after 50 years of knowing each other, in the last 10 to 15, 20 years, I ran around whatever this woman needed. And it was a friend of mine, not a romantic relationship. I did whatever and I mean, if I tell you some of the things that she had me doing is crazy. And I finally said, no, I can't do that. I haven't heard from her in 6 months. We used to talk 2 or 3 times a week. So boundaries are hard for you, but they're also hard for the other person, because they're used to running all over you. So stand your ground. People will come, people will go. That person leaves so other good people can come in who will respect you.
Yeah, that's a big lesson, right? And I want to also mention that Michelle Obama, I mean, everyone knows who she is.
Oh, love Michelle.
Yeah, she was on another podcast, and I say this because she's also learned too, and she's a lawyer from Harvard. I mean, but she said she had to finally learn what a full body no meant. So yeah, isn't that powerful? Like, listen to your whole body, and if your whole body's saying, like, like if you get, stomach ache or anxiety
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
something, your body's also saying no. Like your head and your body's also saying no. So I just wanted to share that with you and our listeners because I thought I've done that a couple of times where my whole body's like, yeah, I don't think so.
That's amazing. I've never heard that before, and because that's my coaching is how does it feel? How does your body feel? Where in your body is the ache, the pain, the angst, and the no? Feel the full body no. I love that. That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
it's something that when you've come out of a toxic type of marriage, it's something that takes a lot of practice.
Oh, it does. And that's just it. When you say no to the first time to your toxic narcissist, it doesn't go very well at all. It's hard. And I also teach women to when you say that, you make me feel. Very simple phrase, doesn't go over well with narcissists because I had one of them say to me, "Oh, well, aren't I a horrible person to put me on the defensive again?" Lord, so it's you're changing the music to the dance that you and this narcissist have done, and they've got to either change their steps with you or go dance by themselves, and you go to your new music. So it's very hard. You're working on your relationship with you, and everybody around you is affected. Sometimes not so positively, but I find most times people are very positively affected by the changes in women.
Yeah, I just want to mention too that if you are divorcing somebody like this, that be mindful of your children because they can also, pick up anxiety, pick up habits, pick up things that they've lived in, right? I know both my children have anxiety, right? You can just tell we all lived in a bit of hypervigilant life for quite a while, and they all, now we're calmer and the regulated systems are a little bit better, but there's scars there. So I didn't know if you want to talk about that a
Oh,
little bit.
absolutely. I mean, the children pick up everything, and I have three children. One of the reasons that I pushed for my divorce is because of the disrespect my ex-husband was having for me, and I didn't want my three daughters witnessing that disrespect. I thought that was just horrible. Doesn't matter whether he was present or not. I didn't heal that wound or address that issue. My three children were raised to have no respect for me because that was what he instilled in them. So they carried that. And we carry that. We work on that all the time. And the anxiety, oh my gosh, kids, my oldest daughter has so much anxiety from this and has attracted a lovely narcissist partner. All three of my kids attracted narcissist partners. My oldest daughter is on her third narcissist now. Who just and she ends up having a breaking point and then done. And now she's found somebody, and it's a shame because that was the pattern she saw. That was her dad. That's who she loved. And I'm not going to badmouth him. I'm not going to say anything because I would not disrespect her by disrespecting her father. So the kids, I think that's a huge point, Karen, that we have to take care of the kids and focus on the kids because I was busy healing me. I didn't think about my kids. I didn't think of how this was going to affect them. And it really did have a negative effect on them. So pay attention to the kids too is a huge lesson here.
Yeah, it's not easy, right? Like I'm just saying, like I'm thinking of my own situation. You're so, I often say to the story, and the listeners have heard me say this before, is I would lay in bed and I would think, and I already had a degree and I already had a college diploma. So I was not I was a pretty smart girl, but I had been in this marriage for 19 years. I'd lay in my bed and go, I don't think I could even get a job at the local 7-Eleven. That's how poor, yeah, I'm just being honest. That's how poor my self esteem
Yeah.
was, right? So if my self esteem was that low, how was I going to be able to help my girls, right? Now,
Pass.
over the
Yeah.
years, they've
Pass
seen
on.
me blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they've seen me
Yeah.
blossom. I went and got another degree. I'm doing podcasting. We've got divorce workshop. I do grief counseling, but it was really hard at the beginning for me to help them when I felt so low.
And that is such a great point because I mean, it is for the kids. My kids have no respect for me. Also, to your point, I had no respect for myself. I was people pleasing and whatnot. So they saw that from both sides. I mean, I do give a lot of credit to my ex, but it's partially me as well. And this is my journey. It is what it was supposed to be and whatnot. But the kids take it on. They see these things and they have their own paths to walk. But it's tough because how do you heal the kids when you're with your in a mess yourself?
Yeah, I think that's why it's important we brought it up. So if they've,
Yeah, yeah.
that if you're in this at the beginning and if you're aware, then at least you can start, knowing that your kids are probably going to be affected. I think Dr. Amity said children who grow up with narcissist parents generally do have quite a bit of anxiety. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And maybe you're in the position to get them some help. See a therapist, something, right?
And that's just it exactly for everybody. It's I mean, my youngest daughter had anxiety even when we were married. I talked to a neighbor about taking her to a psychologist, and the neighbor shunned me. She said, "You can't do that. Your daughter will be scarred for life." But she needs to talk to somebody. So, I mean, that mindset has changed indeed. But I wish I had thought to get my kids some sort of counseling or support when we were going through this. It never even occurred to me that the damage. I mean, it's collateral damage, if you will. But yeah, support yourself, support your family. Yeah, exactly.
But the support, like really, it's that think about the airplane, put the mask on yourself so then you can put it on your
100%.
children. So
Exactly.
it's really important to see someone like him to help you through these trauma responses that you may be having, and get some empowerment. So is there any little tips you can give our listeners before we wrap up?
With pause is my big thing because you've got to feel everything in your body. If you're going, just stop. Just, I don't know, for the longest time, I didn't stop. I just was going, and to the point of physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, and I didn't give myself permission to stop. Just pause. Just take the pause. You deserve 5 minutes to yourself. Self care is invisible in a life of somebody who's living with a narcissist. So start taking care of you. Pause if you can, 5 minutes, a cup of tea, go hide in your car if you have to. Give yourself a pause, 5 minutes. That's it. And then that actually is the first step to, oh, wow, that it's going to feel awkward at first. It's going to feel real. Oh my God, I should be doing this. Oh, I should. Oh my God. It's got to slow the nervous system down. We've got to slow everything down. So it starts with a pause. It's going to be hard at first, but that's the first thing I teach people. Pause.
Could you do a pause? Like, could you say, okay, 5 minutes on Monday, 6 minutes on Tuesday? Could you do a little bit as a time and to try to build that up?
That is absolutely brilliant. I have in my calendar, I never thought, because I do pause now, but I never thought of doing it back then. I have in my calendar mantras that come up at 8 a.m., noon, and 8 p.m., just so I can start keeping the positive going. And even I think that's brilliant. 8 a.m., pause for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Noon, pause for, because you don't run a marathon just by, oh, I wanted to run a marathon. You don't start your healing by, okay, I'm done. It's going to be a long process. It's going to be step by step by step, and you heal one step at a time, one pause at a time, one journal entry. Meditation. I couldn't meditate for the longest time. My head's just going crazy. So now I still do guided meditations because I need something to distract me, if you will. I admire people who can just sit and be quiet and do it on their own. That's not my thing. It never was. So find something that feeds your soul. Pause, journal, what works for you.
And I'm just saying that because we need to practice it, right, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not
Exactly.
okay, I paused once. No.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
You've been through whatever you've been through for how many years,
Yep.
either with your parents,
Yep.
girlfriends, boyfriends,
Yep.
ex-husbands. It's going to take time for you to calm your nervous system down again, right? So that's what I mean. It's
I
more of a practice, right?
I absolutely love that you point that out. It's true because even I mean all the education I've got, all the coach, two or three three coaching certifications, even my education before, I know all the things. But in order to practice it, I give myself the reminders. I don't want to forget to take care of me, and give yourself permission to take care of you first. Put that mask on you first. I put it like we're trying to water everybody else from this lovely teacup that's bone dry. You don't have a drop of water for yourself, yet you're trying to water everybody else. Fill that cup first, and then when it overflows, water everybody else from the overflow.
And let's talk about just quickly what happens when you burn out.
The burnout is the worst. You all the shoulds are there. You should be doing. I should, and I ask women to remove that from that word should from you. You physically can't do the things that you want to do, that you need to do. Your cognitive ability is just brain fog galore. I mean, to the max. Your physical burnout is in so many respects. Like you could have physical health issues as well as just not having the energy, the exhaustion. I sleep 8-10 hours a day. I have a client who still has naps every day. Well, that's just fabulous. That's a great self care practice just to get herself built up. So the burnout is the worst. I think I told you my story before about sitting in a chair one Christmas, got the kids all dressed. They went to their father's, and I had the turkey in the oven. I had a shower, put on my new pajamas for some reason. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I sat in a chair for 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours, and I couldn't move. That exhaustion had just, I could, oh, the dog should go for a walk. Thank God he went before. Okay, that wrapping, I had all the things going on in my head, but I physically couldn't move until my children came home. Then I jumped up and I was super mom again because I would push through for them. But that was my aha moment. Uh-oh, there is something really wrong. That was what started me on this journey to coaching.
I
It,
oh, sorry, Kim. I also think
uh,
there's a increase in autoimmune diseases because of
I never go
yeah.
there on that one, but I absolutely agree. I know it's absolutely true. Yeah, there's a huge increase. And yeah, that,
I just wanted to bring it up that everyone should be aware
right. That
that
is not an area of expertise or
and
area
neither
I've
of
gone
me.
into, but I absolutely agree. There's an increase on so many diseases. I mean, because of our health, because we're not honoring ourselves, because we're pushing through this social media instant everything. And we should. And we've got all these beautiful pictures of how relationships should look or how they look on social media. And that's not true. This is why whenever I do a video, I don't do filters. I don't practice and rehearse. I just do things live because there's too many filters and those filters are taking a degradation on our system as well.
For sure. I just wanted to mention if you think about when you go through a stressful event, if you think of a lion when they go after a gazelle, okay, the lion doesn't get the gazelle, but you know what the gazelle does? It goes into it goes into the field and it releases all the stress.
Oh, no way. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know that. Oh,
so it releases it all, right? Well, what do we
yeah.
do? We get bombarded by
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we do anything? Do we go into the do we do our pounding of the gym or walking or whatever?
Yeah.
Or do we as humans release that stress if we've had a really tough day? No, we just absorb it all, right? So it's just a good metaphor for people to remember that, that gazelle, when it didn't get caught, it was in that fight center or flee or fight. It goes into and it bucks, right? And it gets all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
it takes all that energy. I'm doing the dance here, but it
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the energy out, right? So,
I love that because that's exactly what trauma is. Sorry, not the releasing is
yeah.
fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Oh, there's another one. But we freeze and we hold it in. We're not like the gazelle getting rid of it. We hold it all in, all the trauma. Every time you've had an event with your spouse at work, some toxic event, we hold that in. We don't release it. I love that the gazelle does that. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The animal kingdom is so much smarter than ours.
They are. They are. So before we wrap up, is there anything that we missed?
I don't know. No, women just need to honor ourselves and take care of ourselves. This is my whole mission in life is to get women to believe in themselves, to understand their self-worth and shine because we have been dulling ourselves down for other people for far too long and it's time for us to shine.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. So I ask everybody this question. For someone who's just separated, whether they left or were left, what advice would you give them to help them navigate those overwhelming early days?
It's such a tough situation. It's such a great question because first of all, no, everybody survives. You're going to get through it. It's going to be tough. Take care of you first. This is my mission to all women. You've been taking care of somebody else. You've been taught to ignore yourself. Take care of you first. What would honor your pain right now? Yeah, and the financial aspect is the hardest part for women because we come out of this and I was struggled for years. So do what you can to find a way to manage the finances to honor yourself in that respect. And I'm sorry, I'm just throwing this as a personal example, nothing that we've talked about. But the finances are always the tough part for the women. My ex-husband was living the life of royalty. He had a full-time job and a part-time job, and he saw my children 5 days a month. I was working all the time in a salaried position, and I was always struggling. So learn how to take care of yourself so there's not the emotional, spiritual, and financial struggle. That's the big thing. That was a big thing for me.
It's an excellent point. It's a lot of fear in there, but it's an excellent point.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah. How am I going to pay the bills? Yeah.
So you have a lot to offer, Kim. I know you have
Thank you.
books. You're an author and you're a coach and you're trauma release specialist. So can you tell everybody where they can get in touch with you and anything else I missed in your offering?
My website is itsawonderfullifecoaching.com. I have tons of freebies out there because I think everything starts with a freebie. There's some lesson out there you can log into, reset your self-worth. I'm going to have one on money. Funny that we just mentioned money. I'm just working on that now. Tons of freebies because your journey of healing starts with one step. I have journals on Amazon because you got to fake it till you make it, so to speak. One is a journal, I am, and I am amazing. And you write it to yourself, and so it teaches you to believe in yourself. I have courses, Feel Great class. It's a one-on-one coaching program, 5 weeks, and one-on-one coaching. Let's get you shining and onto that wonderful life that you so richly deserve. Let's heal that trauma and take your power back.
And this is worldwide, correct?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I coach online, and oddly enough, my biggest audience is American. I am really surprised by that. But anyway,
It's great.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Kim, you're a wonderful person. I've met
Thank
you
you. Thank
already
you.
and connected, and I'm so glad you're doing the work you're doing because we need a lot more women like you.
Thank you, Karen. And I feel the same for you. I think you're amazing. What you do is so important as well because we hold on to the grief and it also has to be released. And you are truly an amazing woman. So thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on. Thanks for joining today's conversation with our divorce expert. Check out the show notes for more about our guests, and don't forget to follow us on Spotify and our YouTube channel at divorceworkshop.ca. We'd love to hear from you. Share your questions, comments, or guest suggestions. And for a complete guide to navigating separation divorce, check out the Just Separated workbook on Amazon. It covers emotions, co-parenting, finances, legal insights, and recovery. A must-have for anyone going through separation or divorce.